Hey everyone. So, like I said, I was gonna come to you guys. I hope this light isn't that bright on you guys. So, like I said, I will come to you guys and give you a more in-depth video about how it's been the last 6 weeks. Cause I officially turned 6 weeks Wednesday just gone, which was the 20 21st. Because the date's the 22nd. You probably won't see this video until tomorrow, which is going to be the 23rd. So I'm running a little bit behind because I'm trying to get everything back in order. So as I stated in previous videos and like you saw in prior videos, the day of surgery, I was 258 pounds. I went into surgery 258 pounds. When I went in surgery on that Wednesday, which was the 9th. I left that Friday, which was the 11th. When I came home, I was 254. Now, about a week or so later, not even a week, yeah, a week and some change, like 10 days later, my menstrual came on. So 10 days because it came on the 19th. Now, um, in that time, in that 10 days, I actually lost 30 pounds because it was like 30 pounds in the begin, like the me just starting my second week. So I lost 30 pounds. I was very in between 228 pounds and 227 pounds. So I lost a very big amount in the first 2 weeks. And that's when I hit a stall. When my period was about to come on, and while my period was on, like I didn't lose no weight. I stayed in the range of 226, 228. Like I was in that, but mainly it was like probably a lot of the times I saw 227 on the scale. The lowest I saw during that time was 226, and the highest was 228. So within that week span, it ranged from 226 to 228, but a lot of times I saw 227. So but that's why I said in between 226 and 228 was my stall. Like it wasn't going nowhere else. The majority of the time I saw 227 point something. So that was my first stall. Wasn't losing nothing. It was just fluctuating, and that was because my period was on. So once my period went off, it stayed at 227 for about an extra week. Because on my fourth week is when my dietitian called me, and she wants to get my stats and everything, and I told her my stats, and I think it was like 227 that I weighed in at around that time. So for about 10 or 12 days, I sat in between 226 228, mainly weighing in at 227 point something. So that was my very first stall when my period around my period time. So I sat there for about 10 12 days. Now on my fourth week, when my dietitian called me, of course with my program, the first 30 days after your surgery, you're on pureed / soft foods. So we don't have to do where it's just liquid after our surgery. All we have to focus on is making sure we puree our foods for 30 days, and we consume our 64 ounces of water and our protein. So we literally was in the hospital eating after our surgery. I was in the hospital eating after our surgery, and all my doctor's patients were in the hospital. Like they started off with salt, like liquids. The very same day we had our surgery, we got liquids. The second day they gave us, during lunchtime that same day they gave me Jello and things like that, which I did not eat because I was in pain. If you saw the story, I did not eat any of those things. I was just in too much pain. So the second day they came with some curry stuff, and I think that's in the other video as well. And so after we was released for 30 days, we had to be on soft pureed foods for a full 30 days. So we did not have to do no type of only liquid, but I did because I I just couldn't take food at that time. I was not feeling food. So after my 30 days, she called me, fourth week, called, and she said, now it's time for me to transition to solids. And she said, for the next few days and a week or so, I need to slowly introduce items back into my diet. There really is no big restriction except for carb and sugar. You want to watch your intake. If you can find alternatives, you want to make sure you do that. But the majority of your food, you want to make sure is fruits, vegetables, and meat. If you want to have pasta, try to get an alternative. Or bread, you want to have some type of alternative. You really don't want to do any rice, but there's not really too much of restriction on what you can and can't eat. You just have to focus on moderation. I had bypass, guys. I did not have sleeves. I had bypass. So a lot of people say talk about dumping and stuff like that. So that's why she's very cautious about rice, bread, and pastas. You try to want to find like a alternative and stay away from those things as much as you can. She said it's not bad, but you want to limit it because you will end up with dumping. You can end up with dumping. Not everyone gets dumping, but because I've read on posts on different forums and stuff where some people never has gotten dumping syndrome and they've had the surgery years ago and things like that. So everyone's different. But to avoid that, because you may not be that lucky type of person who don't get dumping syndrome, to avoid that, you want to make sure you try to stay away from rice, pasta, and breads as much as possible. But anywho, I just went into a tangent. After she did that, she said salads, any kind of meat was fine. Just make sure I chew. Vegetables, of course, you can do them raw or steamed. She said, but take your time when it comes down to raw because it takes a little bit more to digest. And when it came to fruit, I know a lot of people be like, oh, my doctor said, or my dietitian said I can't have fruit or anything like that. Not mine. She said you can have fruit and slowly introduce it, see what your body likes. When it comes down to like we can have grapes, she gave me no restriction on any type of fruit. I can have whatever type of fruit, whatever kind of vegetable, raw or cooked, whatever I wanted. And she said, but when it comes down to the skin on like the plums or the apple, she said take my time, especially chew, because you want to make sure those things are broken down so that you can get as much in as you can. She said so if you want, you could take the skin off and just eat the fruit on the inside. So that was fine. So that was good. And so far, like I stated in my last video, I was buying things like piece by piece, to see what my body likes. So I wasn't spending so much money on things that I don't like. And just last week or a couple days ago, I did my biggest haul I've ever done since surgery. And I picked up quite a bit of things that I felt like my body was agreeing with. But the the plant-based meat I showed you guys did not agree with me. I felt like it was a small dumping to it. I don't know if it was the barbecue sauce or the meat, but for some reason that entire time all I tasted was that meat. I didn't taste the barbecue, it was just the meat. You know how something makes you sick and all you can taste is that one thing? So I felt like if it was the barbecue sauce, I would have just been tasting the barbecue sauce and I would have been grossed out. Or if it was the grapes, I would have been just grossed out by the grapes. Or the apple juice, which I drink apple juice all the time. Because sugar-free drinks do not sit well with me. It just makes me feel like it's yucky. It's really yucky. So I stick with 100% apple juice or any type of 100% juice, mainly juicy juice or Walmart brand juice or something like that. That's 100% juice. And I add ice or I add a little bit of water, and I'm just fine. It's been doing good for me for the longest. And I'm still losing weight, thank God for that, even with that those juices. So when it comes down to my second stall, which happened last week around my 5th week, it lasted for about 8 days, 7 days, that whole 5th week. Like, I'm going to say about 7, maybe 8 days. 7, 8 days, because I just broke that second stall on Monday. My second stall that I had just broke on Monday. And my menstrual is now on. My menstrual actually came on what's today? It came on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, the 18th. Monday, the 19th. It came on, and on that Monday, my stall broke. Like, so it was kind of opposite from the first menstrual. So during my first menstrual, I sat in a stall the entire time of the menstrual, But with this one, I broke my stall with my menstrual. So so now when I step on the scale, your girl is 219.7 pounds. And I just hit 6 weeks yesterday. So tomorrow, if I'm 218 pounds tomorrow, that means I have lost 40, 40 pounds in 6 weeks, 2 days. So, but so far, I have lost 39 pounds in 6 weeks and 1 day. So I'm happy for that. So when you get the surgery, be prepared for stalls to happen. And my dietitian told me that at 4 weeks, she was like, "Listen, you lost a great amount of weight. I think at that time, since I was like 33 pounds, I think it was like 31, 33, 31, 32 pounds or something like that. She counted and said I lost a lot. There's a fruit fly flying around because I have a bunch of fruits in my refrigerator. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I bought a bunch of fruits. So, she said, be prepared for a stall. And I told her about the one I already had previously. And she was like, okay. So it kind of started a little early. She said, so just be prepared. Make sure you're intaking your water and things like that. She said, but stalls are inevitable. You're going to have a stall. And she said, the majority of your weight should be off within the first 6 months because I had bypass, but everything else be kind of slower after about 6 to 8 months. It'll start slowing down to where I get closer to the weight that I'm supposed to be. And the weight that I'm supposed to be at for my height, I'm 5'4", is 145 pounds. I've never been that small ever in my memory of being that small, so I'm kind of skeptical. I'm really skeptical about that. The smallest I've been in adulthood of me remembering is 178 pounds, and that was in 2018 after I had my son. When I went on my keto lifestyle, I went down to 178 pounds. Not to mention when I was pregnant with my son, at that time the highest I wore was 264 pounds when I was pregnant with my son, and that was the day of delivery. I was 264 pounds, and I lost all that weight and got down to 178 pounds. So I can lose weight now. It was just the fluctuating of the weight because I have PCOS. So I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, which just got on my nerves, and that was the main reason why I chose gastric bypass. And I just pray that it actually does the job because it's not just the tool, it's me as well. So I find myself like today I went to Church's and I got my son a 2-piece chicken meal and he got macaroni and mashed potatoes. So of course me who had not ate all day, I took a bite of his macaroni and cheese. It was gross. And I love macaroni and cheese. I love macaroni and cheese. It was nasty. And I've been trying to find pastas for the longest because, before surgery, I was a macaroni and cheese head. I loved it. But when I tasted that, I was like, nope, this is gross. So I tasted a piece of the chicken. And I took the skin off, bit piece of the chicken. First bite, yeah. And of course, I had jalapenos. I love Church's chicken with jalapenos. I love any chicken with jalapenos. So that first bite was fine. Second time I bit the piece of chicken, it was rubbery. Canceled. Spit it back out. I can't deal with no rubbery chicken. So when his mashed potato time, I ate like about 3 little small bites, and it just tastes like a chemical, and I just couldn't get jiggy with it. So that was a cancel. So I was like, okay, so now not only, and the biscuit come, but I did not even dare try to eat the biscuit. That was a no. So that was a kind of a waste of money because my son ate the macaroni. He ate some of the chicken. The mashed potatoes was a no for him, and he didn't eat the bread. So that was a waste of what, $8 or whatever. So that's why I'm trying to. I think I'm just going to stick with cooking at home and just taking my food with me while I'm out working because I'm wasting too much money on things. It's like if it tastes processed, for some reason I'm not liking it, and it's so crazy because I loved Church's macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes before surgery. Now after surgery, it's like you really have to figure out what your body is gonna like, what your taste buds are gonna like, because you're gonna waste a whole lot of money. And I have wasted a lot of money on different food products, and it sucks because you're still trying to figure out what you're going to eat, what you can't eat, and when you're trying to eat healthy, it's like, well, what can I eat? Like what? And sometimes it can really get on your nerve. You be like, forget it. I don't even want to eat today. That's how I get sometimes, and that's not healthy. That's not good because you want to make sure you feed your body. And I tried the protein pasta, the Banza pasta last night, and I put in some liquid macaroni and cheese. And this is how I confirmed that it's not just Church's macaroni and cheese. The Banza, I thought it was just a pasta. I was like, oh, this is nasty. This is gross. I was like, this pasta is nasty. Like, I can't eat this. Went to church the next day, today, and macaroni and cheese. It's nasty, which I don't know how to deal with that. I really don't know how to deal with something that I loved. When I say Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, your anything, anniversary, wherever, you got macaroni and cheese there, I got a huge plate of it. Baked macaroni and cheese like that. But I do stovetop macaroni and cheese too. Don't fool yourself. So when I did that again, and I actually got it from the restaurant that I knew, okay, their macaroni and cheese is good. No, it's just my taste buds. My taste buds are over it. Does not want it. Um, and mashed potatoes. When I cook it from scratch at home, it's better, but Church's was not. Today it just tastes like chemicals, and it was like, nope, we're not having this. Even though I didn't get sick or anything, it was just the taste of it was like, no, I don't want that. So guys, you just have to come along with me on this journey as we figure out what my body likes. I know it likes fruits. I know it likes apple juice and 100% juice. It loves pickles like I did before. I loved pickles before. I just got to learn to slow down on eating those pickles because I used to tear some pickles down, you guys. Tear them down. And now it's like two fruit flies over here by my desk. And the fruits are over there in the kitchen, which is really getting on my nerves. So I used to tear pickles down and I still can eat them. So I got to learn how to slow down. Now I cut the skin off the pickles and eat them. Um, what else? Cheese. I do like the block cheese. I cut it and I cut like two little small things and I cut them in pieces and I may eat that every now and again if I feel like it. But the after effect, like not after effect, but once I've chewed it up, it just dissolves and I'm really not into it. Um, what else is something that I eat on the regular? Like today, uh, for dinner, I got my son a taco. Um, he had two tacos. I had one, and I literally only ate half of it. And I took the top part of the taco, the little flat part of the taco. I took that off, and I ate half of it. It took me about 30 minutes to eat half, which isn't bad, but I don't want it. I don't want it anymore, to be honest. I think I've gotten that craving out the way, and it did pretty well for me as well. I even have some juice, some juice that has been. This fruit fly is really good on my nerve, guys. I'm sorry, but I have some little juice as well that's been sitting in ice for almost an hour and a half, so it's watered down, but it is very refreshing. So what else? and I'm doing good with pork rinds. Pork rinds. If you want a nacho and cheese type of fat, get you some pork rinds and some cheese sauce, ragu cheese sauce. Very good. Even I can eat about three. I only eat three of them, and it gotta be can't be the big ones. Gotta be the little small ones. I pop them in half. They're big, but I can eat those. I can eat three of those in a setting, and I'll be just fine. So I saw a lady. My phone is going off. The fruit flies all over the place. Let me be great. Okay. So I saw a lady do the Taco Bell Nacho Grande using Nacho Grande using pork rinds. So I'm gonna try that maybe Sunday or Monday, and I'll do a video on making that. Even though I know I'm not gonna be able to have a lot, so I'll probably put like 4 or 5 chips down and do my meat and cheese and everything else. So yeah, kind of get some meals going, guys, so we can see what we can tolerate. And I want to know what you guys can tolerate at your stage, at that you are right now, because I know there's people who are just starting out, and then there's people who are way past where I'm at. And like I said, I'm at 6 weeks and 2 days when you guys see this, because I'll be putting this out tomorrow. So I want us to kind of help motivate each other and inspire each other. Some of us are losing weight faster, some of us are losing weight slower than others, but I don't want none of us to give up, because we're all here as a support team to keep each other going, because I am so excited about our futures, like how our new lives are going to be, like we're going to be happy, healthier, and I'm all for anyone who may have their little bouts of, depression and just different thoughts of like buyer's remorse. I've been at that point at about 2 weeks during my first thaw, and I know the feeling of, did I do the right thing? And it's good to have someone you can communicate with. And I want you guys to make sure you put in the comments how you feeling during this time, what your food choices is right now during this time, the stage that you are in your journey, and any questions that you have. Make sure you put them in the comment section below, because I answer all questions. So I just want all of us to come together on each other's journey. Make sure you comment in the box, in the comment in the section below, and let me know where you're at in the journey. And any questions, like I stated, put it below and I'll answer them. If you want to be anonymous, you can go to my email that's going to be in the description box. You can go to my email, send me an email, and I'll answer the question in a video, if that's how you want to do it, because I prefer to actually talk versus messaging, because you probably won't get the full, you won't grasp exactly what I'm trying to say. So a lot of times, if I don't answer your question in the comment section, I'm definitely going to do a video to answer your question, so that you can get a real good understanding of what I'm trying to say, because I don't want none of my words to be misconstrued. You guys, look, this is keto rash. If you don't know what a keto rash is, go look it up. And when you're in ketosis, that's a good thing, because your body is burning fat. That's a good thing. But this part of it sucks. The white on your tongue sucks, because you literally need to brush your teeth a lot, because your mouth will stink. But I got a trick, and I'm going to give you guys a video on that as well, for anyone who's dealing with breath. Okay, my breath is okay right about now, due to the tricks that I have, and I just got my teeth cleaned yesterday from my doctor. But for my dentist, I'm sorry, for my dentist. So I will come back with another video, but make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys in another video.